Hey everyone, Jessica Kabasi here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how I edit this portrait. To begin, I'm going to go ahead and retouch this photo, and then we're going to get into the color grading. So adding all those nice colors and finalizing the final picture. Now before we begin, this video is brought to you guys by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or an online store, make your next move with Squarespace. They have award-winning designer templates that are super easy to use. They have an all-in-one platform, which I love. You don't have to patch, install, or upgrade anything. And if you do have problems with anything, they have 24-hour customer support. So I personally use it and I recommend it to all my friends. So go check it out. You can start your free trial by going to squarespace.com/Jessica and then typing in Jessica for 10% off your first purchase. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start with the retouching. And I have my frequency separation folder here. I've played my action, which creates these folders. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to link a tutorial below where you can learn how to do frequency separation and exactly what this is. I definitely would recommend it because this is how I retouch skin. This is the most effective way for me and the easiest way, so I would definitely recommend it. So we're going to start on the low frequency layer. I always duplicate it, so I'm going to press Apple J, and then I'm just going to start zooming in here. And I'm going to show you guys kind of how to retouch this skin. Her skin is actually really good, so we're not going to do too much. I'm going to go ahead and start right on the forehead. And I'm just going to be smoothing out these colors. I don't want her skin to look flawless by any means. My skin does not look like a baby's bottom, so no one else's skin is going to look like that either. So if I don't have nice skin, neither are you. I'm totally joking. I'll try to make it look, clean, and I'm not that great of a retoucher when it comes to dodging and burning. So for me, frequency separation is the most practical way of retouching. So again, there's so many different ways that you can retouch. This is just the way that I prefer. So right now what I'm doing is holding the Alt key, grabbing a little section of skin and just sampling that around familiar areas so that it kind of picks up similar colors. And we can start creating a nice smooth transition. So if I turn off that high frequency layer, as you can see, it makes it a little bit easier for me to see exactly, where I'm smoothing the colors out. So this is not really an easy technique to get down. It is going to take a lot of practice. So at first, if you are not really getting it and the colors are not transitioning well together, just keep practicing. Don't feel discouraged. This is not something that you're going to learn in even a couple of days or a couple of weeks. It's going to take some time for you to really get the hang of doing this technique. So don't feel discouraged. And if you saw my first retouches, that would give you a tremendous amount of hope. And a lot of people ask me, how do you decide what to retouch? How do you know if you're kind of done blending? This is where you have to really, buy a couple thousand magazines or you surf the web a lot and see the retouching techniques that other people use and, how the skin from, some models and pictures that you like are, and you can kind of use that as your inspiration. You have to train your eye, okay? Just think of it like school. I know that doesn't bring back a lot of good memories for, nerds like me. So, I mean, actually, my high school was not that bad. My high school experience was really good. I was pretty quiet. I was fairly artsy. Nobody knew because I don't think anyone really knew me. It's kind of behind the scenes for 4 years. Unpaid behind the scenes crew member of my high school. So yeah, it's really all just educating yourself. I sound so mean. I'm like, you have to educate yourself. It's really just educating yourself on the current trends, and there are trends for retouching. So yeah, if you want to keep your pictures more natural, I think it's really up to you how fake you want your picture to be, or how real you want your picture to look. So yeah, it's all personal preference. I support you guys in whatever decision you choose to make. So I think that's looking pretty good. And if you do have any problem areas, what I like to do is go on over to the blur tool. If you're having a hard time blending in certain areas, by no means should you use this the entire way through, but just to kind of smooth out a little bit of those trouble areas. Again, I'm not advocating the blur tool to blur out the entire face. Don't do that. And if you do, then just don't say you watched this tutorial. The blur tool should just be used to kind of help transition already healed areas, if you will. If you're having a little bit of trouble blending some stuff in. And only do not use the blur tool around specific lines like eyes and these areas like the nostrils and stuff like that. You really use it just to blend in like this area of the cheek. If this is not transitioning well, you can also do that. So that's what I would recommend. And also here, if you see like an uneven shadow, you can always fix it. Just again, depends on how perfect you're feeling. I don't even know how that feels like, because my life is a circus. So if you really want everything to look like Vogue, go for it. You're going to spend a couple hours on this. If you don't mind looking at someone's face for that long, then again, I support you. I just try to do a clean, simple portrait retouch. Such as this, it gets the job done and it doesn't look too overdone. It works for me. As you can see, I'm just blending in the areas of the highlights of the nose. And I'm having a little bit of an issue just with the lagging on this. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm taking my blur tool and just kind of softly going over it. It's just blending it a little bit more. It's helping me out here. And I think that looks pretty good. So I'll show you guys a quick before and after so you get an idea of how much in effect this really made. So I'm going to turn the high frequency layer back on. And I'm going to turn off the low frequency layer we just retouched on. That's before, that is after. And I didn't even touch the high frequency layer at all. So this is just by working on the low frequency layer, which I think is awesome. If you're someone who, it doesn't work well with a lot of texture, then again, just work with that low frequency layer and you should be just a-okay. I'm going to go ahead and save this because I know my circus life will cause this to close and then I'll have to redo this. So I'm just going to go ahead and save it and I'll be back with you guys for the color grading of this image. Okay, so now that we've finished the retouching and I got this saved, and hopefully my computer will get its act together, we're going to go ahead and start coloring this image and really pulling it together. Let's first start out by adding a photo filter by going to layer, new adjustment layer, and then photo filter. Now you can choose to go this route if you want it to be a little bit warmer. I would play around with it. I'm going to start with the blue first, and I'm going to go ahead and set this opacity or density to about 51%. And I'm keeping the layer at normal. And by the way, did you see what the mistake I just made? This photo filter is supposed to be on top of everything. So pull that layer all the way back up and close the frequency separation folder. Just close it. It's out of your life. It's no longer there. Like, stop trying to be in my life. You're closed. You're out of it. Okay, so we're back on the photo filter. That has nothing to do with my personal experiences in my life. Okay, and let's go to the actual layer. Just select that layer, and we're going to drag the opacity down to about 22%. Again, you can toggle this later if you want to change your mind. Next layer, the black and white. So we're going to go to layer, new adjustment layer, black and white. Let's check this little tint box right here. I'm going to go ahead and decrease the amount of reds here. And as you can see, it's making the picture look, you know, a little haunted Halloween. That's really the vibe I'm going for. That's the theme of my life, Halloween. Because it's scary. My life is scary. We're going to do -76. And then you just want to also lower the yellows. And again, if you're not scared, then you're not doing it right. So I'm pretty terrified right now. Okay, so we're going to go from normal to soft light. And I'm going to go ahead and decrease the opacity on the overall layer to about 32%. Look how lovely that looks already. The next layer we're going to go to is curves. So again, layer, new adjustment layer, curves. Let's go. Let's get it. Okay, let's bring this down. Only in Photoshop can you bring something down and feel good about it. Get it? Because if you bring people down, it's mean. But in Photoshop, it's okay. It's acceptable. Okay. Let's go from normal to luminosity. And the reason why I like to use luminosity instead of the normal, actually, I'll show you guys real quick. Let's say I make a quick layer like so. I feel like it adds a little bit of saturation to the skin. It makes it look a little bit, again, more saturated. If you change it from normal to luminosity, you'll see that it kind of just tints the skin to be desaturated, which I like. So if you want the skin to be more saturated, go ahead, use normal. I'm using luminosity, and hopefully this is going to look like what I did before. Okay, we're going to try. So I'm trying to add more texture into the skin. You can see as I'm playing with this, it is adding that detail back here. So really play around with the curves layer. It is very powerful. I wish I could be this strong. I wish I could be as strong as this curves layer. Okay, I need to start like making merch or something. I gotta add this on a t-shirt or something. Okay, so let's do that. I'm liking how this is looking. And you might end up playing around here for 3 to 4 hours. I mean, you're going to feel like you're back in the 90s and early 2000s before Instagram was a thing and everyone was on their phones. So this is really going to take you 90s kids back, or you 80s kids back. There we go. And if you want it to be a little bit more exaggerated, just bring up this little point right here. Okay, so this is pretty good so far. And let's go on over to gradient map for my next one. And actually, right before I do that, I'm just going to lower the opacity. There we go. Let's go on over to gradient map. Now, I want to use like a goldish tint. And there's a whole set of presets you can actually add on here. All you have to do is just go to this little wheel over here. And then I believe it's photographic toning. So just add them all in there. It's free, so, you know, just do that. Press OK after you select this gold type of gradient. You can also make it if you don't have access for some reason to the presets. It's a black color followed by a brown color and then a beige-ish color. We got peach here for you Mario fans, such as myself. And then we have some lighter colors here. So this is what it looks like. We're gonna go ahead and press OK. And we're gonna go from normal to soft light. And it looks a little crazy now, but what I'm gonna do is just lower the opacity just to get a little bit of that color on there. As you can see, it does really make a difference. Let me zoom out so you guys can see overall. It just adds that nice tint. The next thing I'm going to do, and probably the last thing, depending on how I'm feeling here, is go to layer, new fill layer, and then solid color. And I'm going to go ahead and pick this pale yellow color and then just simply lower that opacity. Depending on, what you want to do, let me see if I switch it over to color. I think that works a little bit better. So you know, for me, it's about making subtle edits and everything. So each layer kind of has its own purpose. And I'll show you guys a complete before and after of this. That's before coloring and that is after. And let's say, you know, you don't want it to be as harsh. You know, just go on over to that curves layer and just play around. And here I'll show you guys real quick how you can change up like this entire look just from this one curves layer. And a lot of people don't know how effective this can be. So really, again, play around and, you know, get to know. If you're going to get to know anybody in your life, it's the curves layer. That should be your number one. If you wanted to sharpen this, what I would do is go to Command-Alt-Shift-E, and then it kind of just merges everything together. You do have to press more than 2 buttons together. So if you're ready to take on that challenge, you're able to merge everything together. And then what you can do is go to Filter, Other, and then High Pass. Or what you can do is also go to Unsharp Mask, depending on how good your day is going, I guess. What I'm going to do here is do a radius of about 4.1. And then, as you can see, this is how the picture is. You just go from normal to soft light. It just kind of sharpens your image a little bit. Again, if you don't really like the sharpened look, you don't have to do this. But let me show you guys a complete before and after. This is before, and this is after. And I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see closer. This is before, and this is after. So that's the end of the tutorial. I really hope you guys like this. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys would like to see for the next tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching.